back to My Therapist Said. My name is Stephanie, and I am your host. Welcome back to the show, you guys. How the fuck are we feeling? What's going on? Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. What's up? Today's episode, we're going to chit-chat. I want to talk about dating. I want to talk about 90 Day Fiancé. And I want to talk about, I just have a story. Enjoy. Happy fucking Wednesday. Why do I feel like it's been so long since I've talked to you guys and seen you guys, and I miss you. And I miss you. Sorry for not me leading with feelings. I just kind of, I don't know. I feel like it's been a minute. First thing on the docket, I got chrome nails again. If you're not looking on camera, they're like, I don't want to fuck up my focus, but they're like brown, sparkly, which is not my vibe. And if you know anything, like if I would have heard myself say this, I'd be like, that's not her vibe. But yesterday I got them done and I kind of feel like a bad bitch. Like, I feel like they're not going to age well. Like, if I have them on for a week too long, I can see myself being like, this is the worst. But, you know, we're okay. And if you're watching on video, I'm wearing my favorite Lashes 48s. Thank you. I was talking about my MAC 48s a while back, and I was like, you should just buy a pair of 48s. And they are, I am, thank you, that bitch. But the one thing about 48s is they don't look as good when they're brand new. They look best like second to or third wear because they need a little bit of mascara built up on them to really pop. One trick I learned when I worked at MAC... Sorry to the men in the chat. We're going to chit chat cosmetics for 2 motherfucking seconds. I'll be done. Thank you. Eventually. One cool little trick about 48s that I learned at MAC is when they get a little crusty dusty, when they're covered in a little bit of mascara, you can do this with any false lash. It doesn't have to be a MAC 48. It can be anything. You can pinch your lash and low-key customize it. Like, stay with me. Like, if you want kind of more of a spidery lash, like you want it to be like a chunk here, chunk here, chunk here, chunk here, you just pinch your lashes together once they have a little bit of mascara on them, and you can create that custom lash because there's some previous mascara on the lash, on the lash hairs. So do I plan to do that with these? Yes. And because a clean 48's a little bit of like it's a wispy, you know, it's like is she wearing a lash or is she not? But once the 48s get used a little longer, it's going to be, oh, this bitch is wearing a lash. That's why I miss 35s a lot, because 35s were a chunky lash. It was like a chunk of like a lot of hair here, space, a gap, hair here, a gap, hair here. And it gave like a really cool edgy vibe. I used to stack a 35 with a 48. The really OG MAC girlies in the chat, I already know. You guys know. Like, stacking a 35 with a 48, first of all, it's like $40 in lashes. So, okay, bad bitch. But second thing is like such a good look. So how I'm going to try to like recreate, because we know 35s were discontinued. I talked about this before in my podcast that's about mental health, right? Why are we talking MAC lashes that are discontinued? Because that's just who this girl is. Why is the podcast getting 1 star? Probably because I'm talking about MAC lashes. Let the 1-star review go, Stephanie. I'm just like, what was the vibe? What was their mood? And what did I say? You know, I gotta let it go. I'm just like, what was the vibe? I was on like my pod SEO this morning. I rarely look at this stuff, like once every like maybe 6 months, but I looked at it this morning, and it breaks down like how many people left how many star reviews. And because I don't have that many, it just says like 1 star 1. I'm like, who is that? Who are you? Were you hoping for what? What did I say that upset you so much that you were like, have you guys ever left a 1 star? I've never left a 1 star on a podcast. If I don't like it, I just turn it off. Anyway, hi guys, welcome back to the show. This bitch is back in 48 lashes, so that you already know the vibes. I want to talk about dating today. When I was about to start recording, actually I want to say this first. When I was about to start recording, I was looking for a lighter for my candle, and I like checked my pant pockets to see if I had a lighter in my pockets, and I was like, that's like the hottest thing to do. Like, you know, when you like ask somebody for, and like, I'm not saying smoking is cool. Okay. So like, don't come for me. Wow, she's promoting smoking. I'm not, but we can't deny that smoking is cool, right? And this is why you get 1-star reviews, Stephanie. I'm not saying that, but smoky's kind of cool. And and I was like looking for a lighter and I like patted my legs and I was like, oh, do I have a lighter in these pockets? And I was like, that's a hot dude thing to do, Stephanie. That you just gave hot dude. Because you know when you like ask somebody for a lighter and a hot man like pats his pockets, like he has a lighter in his pockets, just ready to go, ready for hot girl me to need a lighter. And then if they have one, I'm like, and that's my man, you know? And is the bar in hell? Do you just have to carry a lighter? Possibly, potentially, sure. I mean, I don't think we need to lie and act like it's not in hell. So, totally. So I was giving hot man before I started the podcast to light my candle. And I just feel like I love when men act like that. I love when they're just like, oh, let me just check my pockets because I'm just prepared. One time, speaking of being a hot man, I just feel like that's just who I am. Like because I like don't really fuck with dating anymore. So I think I'm just becoming the hottest version of any man I could ever have dated. Wow, that's cool. Just being a hot man this morning. We need to chit chat dating, you guys. I've been watching 90 Day Fiancé, and I have to say, like, I'm so grateful that I'm single in these streets and don't give a fuck about a relationship. There have been chapters of my life where I gave so many fucks about relationships. So don't put me in a box and be like, oh, she's just hating on couples. No, I've been a couple. Like, I understand never wanting to be single. I understand never wanting to start over. Okay. I get it. I've been there. Just know that. All right. But in this current moment, I'm single as fuck. I've actually never been this single. I don't think in my whole life prior to like ever. I mean, I don't know. Maybe that's not true. I go through like long periods of time where I'm like single. Like when me and my ex broke up, that first partner, I think I was single like for like 5 years before I met my next partner. So yeah, I mean, I be giving it space. Maybe, okay, we're 4 years in. Maybe I have one more year because, okay, I do talk like I'm above this and I'm like, I love being single. But lately, you guys, I'm tired of it. I feel really alone. And I'm also just like, I was journaling this morning and I'm like, maybe this is like why people would like have kids sometimes is because they want to like have things outside of themselves, which I get. Like I get very tired of myself too. I tell you guys, when I do my morning pages, it's literally this. What, Stephanie? Like what more could you possibly have to say? You've been doing your morning pages every single day. I'm not flexing, but I'm flexing every single day for a year and a half, girl. What else do you have to say? What, girl? Like I have all the insight in the world. I understand my processing. I get how I feel about stuff. I understand this. I understand that. I'm with myself constantly. I'm with myself 24 motherfucking 7. So sometimes I'm like, would it be kind of nice to care for something other than myself? Yes, for sure. But I'm not having kids and I don't want to get married. So I'm watching 90 Day though. And in the moments that I'm happy, I kind of go back and forth, right? I'm happy I'm single. I'm so sad I'm single. I'm happy I'm single. I'm sad I'm single. Yesterday I was watching 90 Day and I was having a moment of like, I'm actually really happy I'm single. Yeah, the pendulum has swung the other direction. This morning I'm feeling sad that I'm single. But last night, happy that I was single, okay? That's literally a day in the life of a single girly. And just takes like one thing. Just takes one thing. And I'm like, I'm really good actually. Okay. I digress. If I do one thing, I do be digressing. So I was watching 90 Day last night and I was having a pendulum swung the other direction. I'm so happy I'm single. And here's why. First of all, I think a lot of this is probably because producers make it this way. But I've never seen 90 Day before. It's my first time watching this new season. So for those that are OG watchers, do they always not talk about very important things prior to their partner immigrating to the US? Like, I'm having a hard time understanding why wouldn't we talk about a prenup prior to a move from Turkey? And he's like looking at the girl and it's just like, I don't want to have a prenup. And she has money from an accident that she was in, and she also owns her house, so she has assets. And she's presenting this idea to him. Is this for the first time? And he hates it, but he already moved here. So what do we do now? I find that so odd. Where's the communication, guys? And then I have to ask a question about this, and I'm just wondering if the two of you have completely different first languages, how does the communication work? How do we have conversations as complex as a prenup if neither one of us speak the same language? Imagine if you are English speaking and your partner is not. How do you have complex conversations like that? And then I'm like, is that why no one has the conversation until the move has already happened, because the communication is challenging? But like, do we need to get a translator? Like, what are we gonna, to watch them struggle is so wild to me. I'm like, is this real? Like, if communication is hard enough for people that they have to hire a professional, me, to help them connect with one another in the same language, imagine how hard it would be to communicate if you guys speak two totally different languages. And to know enough of this language to get by is completely different than to fully be English speaking, French speaking, Portuguese speaking, and be able to have complex conversations. What do you guys think about that? It just feels tough to watch. And then, okay, my girl Katie, she felt bad about making out with everybody. Yeah, she felt bad about it. She was like, looked so hungover and was just like crying and was like, I fucked up. Josh, that's his name. Okay, I'm learning. We're 6 episodes and I'm like, okay. Josh, they speak the same language. So there's that. He's from the UK. He's so patient with her. She's really got to face the drinking thing. I understand her though. Like, yeah, she felt bad about it. She was just like crying on camera. She was like, I'm afraid I'm going to lose him. And I'm like, yeah, girl, very valid fear there, because Josh is over your shit. Like, he's not having it. He's still very patient with her. I love when this is like such a nice thing. Just to the people, you guys. So here's what happened. Like, she was crying on sitting on the floor. And she was telling him, I'm so overwhelmed. I feel so bad. And he was sitting on a chair listening to her. Like, he was sitting at a desk and she was on the floor. When she's done getting all of her words out, before he responds to her, he gets off his chair and sits on the floor right across from her and then spoke to her. Can I just say that's like the kindest way to show someone that you care? Like, I was so impressed by I'm impressed by his patience. I'm impressed by his ability to listen to her. And I'm really impressed with those like very fine-tuned communication skills, because this is what I mean when like you don't speak the same language. Like, this type of stuff is it's like very fine, but it does impact how people talk to each other. Like, him sitting in a chair at a desk, if he would have spoken to her and she was sitting on the floor, it would have been that he was speaking above her, because physically he is above her. And that does impact how we inside feel about what we're being told, or how we take what we're being told. If we're looking up at someone who's speaking literally physically down to us, that impacts how we take it. She might have gotten more defensive. She might have felt more bad and totally shut down, but he didn't do that. He physically met her where she was at. And that is like, I mean, it was beautiful. Like, the therapist in me like loved it. Like, I almost started crying when he got off of his chair. Like, he just sit on the floor with her and just be like, I'm eye level with you. I'm with you and I'm listening to you. It's such a beautiful, fine-tuned communication skill that not everyone is aware of. And especially like men, I'm not going to talk shit. I'm just going to say, like, I think men sometimes don't have those fine-tuned skills and they don't even realize what they're doing, right? Men are taller than a lot of women, and men being taller than women are constantly being talked down to. If you're in a relationship with two people, one person is shorter, one person is taller, I would encourage the two of you to get eye level with each other, sit on the couch and have conversations, or have conversations when you're like on a walk or something. So it's important that if you have a height difference in your partners, you guys are mindful of that. It's always going to create an unlevel power dynamic, and it impacts the communication. You're more likely to fight. Fun little therapist thing. See, I know things. But yeah, Josh was sweet with that. I was like, aw, he really like got on the floor to just like sit with her. Like, that's just such a kind gesture, you know? Then I'm like, damn, I never had a man be nice to me. And then Shay and Annabelle, okay, I know their names. Like, Shay's a cheater and low-key cheating right in front of Annabelle. Again, another substance use situation where we're not talking about the substance use that much. I mean, Annabelle talks about it. She's like, you got to stop drinking so much. But Shay doesn't give a fuck. He's just like continues to drink a lot and flirt with other chicks right in front of her. She moved from the Philippines. That's so far away. I don't know. There's just like certain things that I'm like, how does the communication... She speaks English, but again, I don't know that they speak it enough to be able to speak about complex issues like prenuptial agreements and things like that. That's my biggest question with this show. How does that work? I don't know. Okay, I'm just going to talk about just my dating experience. I feel like men don't, and when I watch like Love Island and shit, they don't just like, men and women both don't really just like communicate like you're not my person. You know, like they're never just like, you're not my person. Like it's always some weird around the block way to be like, you know, we're just not vibing. Like, do you remember the guy that I dated when he said take care after I like expressed that I was like having feelings and that like I wanted to talk about that and like what can we like communicate about this? I was hoping he would hold some accountability to the fact that I formed feelings because I don't know, he did the fuckboy shit, like introduced me to all of his friends, told me he wanted to do all of these things together. Dun 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 dun. It's dating in 2026, bitch. It was 2024 at the time, but same shit. And just doing the shit, you know, like asking me to sleep over, wanting me to like talk about his whole family, just like really hanging out like 5 days a week, like all this shit, you know, that fuckboys be doing. It's on me that I didn't communicate that I was catching feelings early on, for sure. It's also on him to say, yeah, I could see that. This is actually his sweatshirt. Fuck that guy, but he had really good sweatshirts. No, we haven't talked. No, I haven't seen him in like a year, guys. Don't come for me. I haven't seen him in a year, but I do love this sweatshirt. I wanted him to hold some accountability to be like, yeah, I could see how I led you on. You know, I could see how you would get your feelings hurt a bit because I did some things, but instead of holding any accountability, the minute I said I'm catching some feelings, I have to pull back a little. He said take care, and that was it. Like that's why I mean, like that's so fucking annoying to me because it's like have some accountability for the role you played in being a fuckboy, but men don't do that, and I feel like men and women both struggle because to me, I didn't communicate my feelings either. I didn't ask him from the jump like, what do you want from this interaction? All I was going with was what he was doing, which the minute we met, he was like, I deleted the apps. Oh my god. If I had a fucking dollar for every time not a penny, a dollar. Hello, 2026 inflation, bitch. If I had can someone tell the mental health industry that? Hello, therapy is still priced at $40 a session for EAP. Okay, thank you. Sorry, let me just get off my where are we, girl? Oh, if I had a dollar for every single time a man told me he deleted the apps after we met up, I'd be rich as fuck. I'd be rich as fuck. Like, oh, I'm off the apps. Like, what does that communicate to the person, right? It's like this indirect communication. I hear that as like, oh, we're not dating other people that much. Like, we're not like dating, like, yeah, maybe you have a roster still. Like, I wouldn't expect you to be like just with me. But when you tell me you're off the apps, I'm like, oh, so you're off like from like the masses, you know? It's like dating's like this, like the masses, the roster, a handful, and then we're dating exclusively, right? Like, that's kind of how I see it. So if you're telling me you're not dating the masses, I'm like, oh, so we're at a roster. But like, they always say that. And my thought is like, they're trying to tell me like, not that they want to be exclusive, but they want to date me primarily. And he told me that. Because they always tell me that. And instead, it's like, Steph, like, you should have, like, been like, what does that mean? But I don't, because I'm just dun, 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 with a fucking 6'5" man who's tatted. Like, what? I'm not going to ask these questions, although I should have. I hear you. And I started thinking more, why don't we just communicate directly how we feel? Like, even when I watch Love Island or I watch these shows or I'm living in the world, I'm like, it's always just like, what does he mean by that? What does she mean by that? Like, it's so confusing to me that it's that way. Like, no one is saying what they actually feel or think, and it's just very just like context clues for everything, which I believe leads to a lot of hurt, right? So I'm watching this show on Netflix the other day, and this guy says something that I had to write down because I was like, this is the most complex shit when he's not saying what he's supposed to be saying. He literally said, ready? I fucking wrote this shit down. I was like, get your pen. This is for the pod. So he doesn't like the girl, right? Here's what he says. There is someone out there looking for exactly what you're looking for, and they are so lucky. Just say you don't like me. Just say you don't want to be together. Like, why are we creating? How many words is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, if you count the and sign, 14, 15, 16, 17 words to be like, I don't want to date you? Why can't we just say, hey, I don't want to date you? Why? Why is that? And then my biggest thing people would say, because I don't want to hurt their feelings. I'm going to tell you right now, you're going to hurt their feelings a lot more with this motherfucking paragraph. That's a crazy paragraph. I'm going to run it back again. They are not, there is someone out there looking for exactly what you're looking for, and they are so lucky. Like, what in the narrative is going on here? Like, just say it, guys. Communication is just so interesting to me. I feel like in my experience, we say so many words, but we don't mean what we say. There's like a lack of directness, especially with dating. Even saying things like, I deleted the app. My question is, what does that mean? You know? I didn't ask that. Because I'm not better than anybody. I'm not better than who I'm talking to right now, you guys. I'm not. But I'm also just like, how much time do we waste with saying a bunch of bullshit when we could just be like, hey, I don't think you're my person, you know? All I do is talk about fuckboys. What are fuckboys doing? They're out here pretending that we're going to go on trips together. They're out here wanting me to meet their family and their friends. And they have no intentions of dating me exclusively. Okay, so why all this, if not that, you know? And I agree, it's on me to communicate this better, but I don't want to do it either. Why? Why would I rather play the game? Because it does hurt me more in the end. So anyway, that's just where I'm at. And I'm not going on a date. I was like thinking recently, I'm like, maybe, like I have my Raya app that I'm like, there's not that many people on it, which I feel like is better for me because Hinge is like, I'm not bragging, but it's overwhelming. I get so many people. Also, I'm 5'11". The apps are not a safe space for a 5'11" girly that's looking for someone that's taller than them. And no to everyone being like, you just need to change your preferences and date someone who's shorter than you. You guys, you heard me on the last episode. I have a really bad habit of walking all over men. Here's Stephanie on a date. Here's Stephanie dating. Okay. I'm 5'11". Talking down to men is like my favorite thing to do. I stay talking down to men, dude. I'm taller than most. So I can't date one that's smaller than me. I just can't. And no shade. I just can't. I can't. I know it will just impact how I feel inside because this stuff is important. I talked about at the beginning. These are like fine-tuned skills that impact how we feel and how we talk and how we show up in relationships. I want a man that's taller than me, and that's that. I'd rather be single. I don't want a short man in my house. No, I don't want that. I just don't want that. So I'm feeling like, do I need to go on a date? Like, what are we? Because I am getting tired of being single. Like 4 years is a long time, but I don't think I have it in me. I've had so many like awful ones. Like that one time I walked into that guy's house and he had like an I love you note on his fucking whiteboard from his girlfriend. I'm like, you couldn't have erased that? You're such a dick for that. But it's like, where are the nice ones, you know? One time I went on a date with a dude. I'm going to tell this story. I was out with a friend the other day and she was like, have you ever left a date in the middle? And I was like, I have. Actually, twice. The first one, a guy made a really racist ass comment and I left him at sushi, but I don't want to share that story. That one was just really fucked up. This was like that was probably like 8 years ago. I've been dating forever. This is why I'm so fucking tired. This is why I'm like so fine. Just like chilling with bubs, watching 90 Day, being like, how do they communicate? Like, I'm totally fine being the cool guy with that keeps a fucking lighter in my pockets. Do I have a lighter? Pat, pat. Like, I am that bitch, you know? Like, I am this cool dude. I just don't need it, you know? And this is fucking why. So I went on this date one time, and a couple years ago, we were texting before. We were bantering. The vibes were good. I like texted him because I never know what to wear on dates because I'm such like a casual hoodie girly, but I also can like look like a bad bitch if I want to look like a bad bitch, but it's like very rare that I want to like, but then I'm like, I'm not gonna wear like a dress, you know? Like, so dates are hard for me because I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I guess I could do jeans, but then I'm like, what shirt? So anyway, I was like not knowing what to wear, and I texted him and I was like, I think I'm just going to wear like a hoodie on this date. Like, is that cool with you? And he's like, I'm wearing a hoodie too. And I was like, we're a match made in heaven. Okay. Again, the bar is in hell. And I am like in the Uber. We're like bantering in the car. I'm like, oh my God, I'm nervous. Oh my God. And he's like, this is going to be so fun. I'm so excited to meet you. I'm so excited to see you. I'm wearing a hoodie too. We're going to be comfy, cozy. We're going to have so much fun. I get to this bar and, he's walking across the street and I see him and I was like, I'm pretty quick with, I don't think this is it. No, I'm not pretty quick. I'm an instantaneous feeling of I will know if it's it or not. And I remember feeling, oh no. Usually it's a height thing, if I'm being honest. And I was like, oh no. But he was actually like a little taller. And we like walk in and he's a little uncoordinated. And I couldn't quite tell why he was uncoordinated. I thought maybe he was just nervous because we were already chit-chatting about like, oh my God, I'm nervous. I hate first dates. Like, this is so nerve-wracking, whatever. So I was like, maybe he's nervous. So we like get our drinks and we're talking at the bar. The bar's really crowded and like someone kind of bumps into him and he like spilled one of the drinks like all over the place and just kind of ignored it. And I like made eye contact with him for like the first time where it like wasn't in the dark and his pupils were huge. And I remember looking at him like, is he fucked up? Because he was a little uncoordinated too at the beginning. And I'm like, this is just weird. So, oh my God, I forgot about this date is interesting. So I go look at him. I go, is he fucked up? In my mind, I was like, no, Steph, you're fine. So I went down. This is how women's intuition gets shut down all the time, right? Men could never understand this. This is like a woman's thing, right? We're like, I think this is weird. No, it's not. Like, that's because I've been treated like this my whole life. Stephanie, shut up. No, it's not. We go sit down and he starts asking me about tattoos, which I could riff for hours about this and I'm not going to. And he starts like telling me they always start with like, tell me about your tattoos, but it's really because they want to talk about their own tattoos. And I don't have stories. Like my tattoos, the only thing is that I've got tatted in multiple different like countries. Like my tattoos are from all over the world, which I think is something cool about them. But other than that, there's no meaning. You know, like my favorite question is like, what's the meaning behind the zombie dog with rabies on your right thigh? And I'm like, it's a zombie dog with rabies on my right thigh. Like, what are you talking about? You know, like what does it look like it means to you? Like he's drooling. Yeah, it's a cool tat. Thank you. So he's asked me about my tattoos, but I could tell he doesn't really care. I can tell he wants to talk about his. So I'm like answering short. I'm just like, oh yeah, this one got in Guatemala, Chile, whatever. And he goes, oh, I have a tattoo. And I was like, and this is what I was waiting for. I said, you do? Like I could fucking care less. He said, I do. And I was like, okay. And he was like, it's a rat on my left forearm, and he was wearing a flannel. This is something that has happened to me more times than I'd like to admit. When men start undressing in public to show me a tattoo, not something I've ever done, but okay. He starts taking off his flannel to show me his arm, and he goes, it's a rat, and I'm wondering, do you think I should add color to it? And he pulls off the flannel. I see the rat and I realize it's not just a rat, but it's a dissection of a rat. Like the guts are out. And hey, I'm not one to judge. I just told you I have a zombie dog on my leg, which is a badass tattoo. And I'm not going to talk down to it. I love you and I love this tattoo. Okay. First of all, you're one of my favesies. And it's like a rat with it's like cut down the chest and the skin is like flayed out. like you would see on an operating table, right? And it's black and gray. So, okay. And he goes, do you think I should add color to this? And I was like, a little taken aback by what the tattoo actually was. And also the tattoo is very much so finished. So I asked him, where are you thinking that you want to add color to this? And he goes, in the organs. And I'm like, you could give the spleen a little pink, color the stomach with a little red for just for some realness, like if you want, dude. And he's going on and on and fucking on. And at this point, he's like slurring his words. We haven't even drank our drinks. Like he's literally already slurring his words. I can tell this guy just showed up fucked up, talking about tattoos for so fucking long. And the minute he actually at one point he spilled his whole drink after, when he took off his flannel. Because he was like flailing around at this crowded bar trying to take off his shirt to desperately show me his dissected rat tattoo. And he spills his whole drink on the floor. And I was just like, oh my God. We're maybe 15 minutes in, guys. Like, we're not here for long, okay? And he goes, I'm going to go get another one. I texted my friend and I was like, I have to leave. This dude is so fucked up. I can't tell what he's on. He doesn't seem drunk. It just seems a little bit like somebody's up with him. Like, so I just felt very uncomfortable and I didn't love the undressing. And she was like, I'll call you and you can leave. So and we'll make it like a thing so you can leave. So she calls me and she's like, hey. And I was like, hey, because he was still he could overhear me. He was still close enough. I was like, oh, what's going on? And she was like she's like made it up. And I was like, I'm going to go take this call outside. And I went outside and I called an Uber and left. And he texted me after, because I was just going to block his number because I'm not trying to do this shit again. And he texted me after and it was like, it's so rude that you would leave in the middle of a date. You should have communicated it like you're such a bitch or something. And I blocked him. Like, not a dissected rat. I didn't ask for this. I didn't ask for you to take your shirt off. I didn't ask for you to be asking me about all your fucking tattoos. Like, he actually only had one. Because it's always people that have none that want to talk about them so much. Because then it's always like, and that was it. And I went home and I was like fucking over it. Like, I was just like, I'm never dating. Like, dating is so fucking terrible. Like, what a giant waste of my time. I could have been home watching 90 Day with Bubs. Like, what the fuck? The thing about tattoos too is it's always the people that have none that want to chit chat so fucking much. Stephanie, you said you wouldn't talk about this. I know, but now I'm just getting onto it because I'm just like, what the fuck? It's always the ones with the most complex ideas about all these things. My grandma, my mom, my uncle. I want to get a big back piece. And I'm like, do you have any tattoos? They're like, no. And I'm like, you're 40 fucking 5. I don't think we should start now, Steve. Oh my God, it's always the most, and then it's always this. I have so many ideas, which I have to listen to for 45 minutes, right? And then they're like, but I just can't find the right artist. And I'm like, oh my God. It's not the artist that you're looking for. It's just that you're not tatted and you just are talking to a tatted chick and you can't just be like, oh, I don't have any. You have to pretend to know about this world. For what reason? Other than to serve your male audacious ass ego. Like, you just want to serve your fucking own ego because you can't show up in a room with a tatted chick and be like, oh, I don't have any because I'm too much of a little bitch boy to get a tattoo. And I'm not saying people without tattoos are bitch boys, but the ones that have so much to say about tattoos that they would have maybe in one other alternate universe want to get. Why are you guys the loudest? I don't care. I don't care that you grew up here and then you want to put the pine tree here and we want to put the moon here and then your uncle, this is what your family meaning is and you want to put that here, but you just can't find the right artist to do it. You've been planning it for years. I'm like, oh my God. Just be like, I'm not a tatted dude. Just own it. Just own it. My ex was like that, and I give him so much shit about it. Like, I still, to this day, I shouldn't be talking to him. I haven't talked to him. But the last time I talked to him, you best believe, because the minute we broke up, he started getting tatted. So embarrassing. Him and I were laughing. I was like, did you do that to get me back? And he was like, of course I did. It's like a tiny little ankle tat. He's like, I'm literally laying in the tattoo chair thinking, oh my God, I wonder if this will get Stephanie back. He also goes to the gym now. I'm like, oh, all of a sudden, not us dating for 3 fucking years of me being like, hey, I feel like your mental health would be a lot better if you went to moved your body at least a little, just a smidge, take a walk. Now what? Now that we're broken up, now you want to go on walks? Now you want to hit the gym? Now you want to get tatted? It's just like, you just want to be like me. Just say you want to be like me. Just say you're obsessed with me. God, men just can't just like own their own shit. They're always just like halfway to a different version of themselves that doesn't even exist. Oh, I want to get into the gym soon. Oh, I want to get tatted once I find the right artist. No, you don't. No, you don't. Why can't you guys just say that? Oh my God. I could talk about tattoos all day long just because I've been tatted for so long. I've heard it all, guys. My ex has like 3 small tattoos now, and I told him last time I saw him, I was like, you're not really tatted though. You keep getting small. I told him, I said, this is where the cusp is of like if you're a tatted person or not. If you have a tattoo that took multiple sessions, I'll allow it. Okay? We can chit chat art. We can chit chat tats. We can chit chat what type of artist do you like? What type of style do you like? Do you find yourself drawn to? We can chit chat tats. It's not that I don't want to chit chat tats. I do. I actually love doing that with tattooed people. Okay? If you don't know anything about the business, stay out of the business. Because he was like, I have like 3 now. And I was like, yeah, but they're flash. You can't do 3 flash. Stephanie, you said I can't stop. So you can't do 3 flash tattoos and be like, oh, I'm tatted. Even if you have like a flash sleeve, it's like, I mean, I guess I'll allow it because there's like so much into a sleeve, but like I'm barely giving you that pass. Because again, if you're just sitting there for 45 minutes, you don't really know what it's like to be tatted, you know? You don't really get it. And then it's all, oh my God, I haven't done one more. It's always those fucking people that are like, tattoos don't even hurt. Oh, not tattoos don't even hurt. Bitch, that tattoo is this big. That tattoo is this big on your fucking calf. Yeah, tattoos don't even hurt. Are you kidding me? How long did that take? 15, 16 minutes at max? You can't fucking pick from a flash book and be like, oh, I'm tattooed, so now I can talk about tattoos don't hurt to tatted people. No, get out of this shop, Steve. You're not tatted. You pick from a flash book on one Friday the 13th. What happened one fucking time? And you're like this, oh, this is the time where I should try to go get Stephanie back? It kind of worked. I mean, I hung out with him again. I can talk about it all day. Okay. Now that I'm calmed down. Am I calmed down? Honestly, my heart rate is up. I have a funny story, and then I'll let you guys go. Not as funny as the dissected rat, though. That was crazy. Not him asking me if he should get color. I'm like, where, sir? This is it's always like the small tattoos, you know, like maybe this big. Like I'm holding my hand out, like pointer finger to thumb, like this big. Like it's not. Where is the color gonna go? Do you not understand? It's not a coloring book. Like, do you not get how tattoos work? Like, you can't just like throw color on a finished and already very much so healed tat. You know, you don't just like get an idea one day. You're like, oh, I should just treat myself like a coloring book. It's like, it don't really work like that. But clearly you don't know that because that's your only fucking tattoo. Okay. It's always those ones too that are like, and I hate it and I want to get it removed. I'm like, because you have one. So all you do is think about that tattoo. One way to work through tattoo regret is get more, bitch. You won't give a fuck about that. 3 tattoos from now, what tattoo did I hate? What? Like, that's how I solve my issues. I don't understand why you're being like, oh, should I just add color to it? Or what? Maybe get it removed one day. You're going to go back to another appointment for a dissected rat? Just keep the train moving on the track. Get more tattoos. That's the only place you can go from here, dude. Or get it removed and then never speak to me again. I mean, I didn't want to speak to me anyway, but people just like don't get it. They just don't get it. I'm like, what is going on in your man mind? Okay. I was sitting outside the other day and I was journaling. And I was having just like a very serene moment where I was just like, Bubs was sleeping. I was just like chilling, eyes closed, just like, take a deep breath. Like, everything is good right now, dude. Like, you're really doing well. So I'm like journaling about that and I'm writing everything out. And all of a sudden I hear like a buzzing noise, like maybe like it was like a slow buzz, like from far away, maybe a couple feet. And then I hear it get closer, closer, closer. And then at one point it's like maybe half a foot from me, sort of, maybe even closer. And it's like a really loud buzzing noise. And there's like a lot of bees in my back. Not a lot of bees, but I've seen like 2. But that for me, that's a lot because I don't like bugs. And I heard the buzzing noise and I like started getting like this feeling of like, oh my God, it's a huge bee. So I like look up and I see a hummingbird like inches from my face. And instead of treating this like a nice, beautiful nature moment, I go like this, and it just flies away. And I immediately started laughing and I was like, oh my God, Bubs, that was a hummingbird. And then, you know, I love making this joke. Everyone's always like, that's my dead grandma. I was like, maybe it was my mom. Not me scaring away my mom. I literally was like looking around and I was like, sorry, Mom. Like, my nervous system is too active. I'm always like in fight or flight 24/7. Call it trauma. Call it just being a human. I'm like, like, I don't want I literally was convinced it was like, I was even imagining in my head, like, it was this huge black bee. You know, those big scary ones? Like, that's what it sounded like. It was a fucking hummingbird. Growing up, my mom used to like put food out in like the hummingbird feeder. And we'd always have hummingbirds in our backyard. And she would call them, she would say hummy. And she was like, oh my God, hummy is here. So my mom used to like love hummingbirds and like always show it. Like, us kids, we would like, I remember my mom like showing me the hummingbird feeder, how to do it. And whenever we would see hummies, she would say, I saw hummy today. And she'd like say that she like would see the same hummingbird all the time. And it was so fucking cute. So the way I was like in my backyard and I was just like, damn, like, Steph, your mom really came back as hummy. And what did you do the first time you saw her? You screamed at her face and scared her away. Okay. So that's the calm, spiritual, cool, universal side of me. I'm really just continuing to be that bitch. And sorry, Mom, if that was you. Sorry for yelling at you. I got scared. I'm not going on any dates, but I will update you guys if the recruiter decides to tell me that he's in love with me. No updates there either. There was a hot man at yoga recently. He looked like okay, you know the actor from It, Alexander Skarsgård? Is his name Alexander or is that his brother? I want to say there's 2 of them. Skarsgård, I think, is his last name, though. Whoever the guy is that plays It, I think is the hottest man in the world. And mostly because I love horror and I love creepy scary and I think he's an incredible actor. But also because he's just super hot. But why is it always like this? Like, the minute I look them up on the internet, do they have a wife? Yeah, always the hottest girl I've ever seen. I love that. Way to find a hot girl. And it's always that they've been dating since they were like 15, you know? And I'm like, of course you got a fucking hot girl. And of course you have a cutie ass little family. And of course you've been dating since you were 15. Good for you. Bad for me. You know? But the guy at yoga reminded me of him. I was like, if I could just find someone that looks just like It, I'll be so happy. What a niche ask, you know? But it's really not that niche because It is hot. Like, if you see the actor that plays It, he's a hot dude. Like, maybe it is not hot per se, but I do be loving clowns. So, like, I mean, like, I'm not attracted to clowns, but I love the weird, you know? I love the weird. Not as weird as, like, a dissected rat. That's not my type of weird. I love horror, creepy, scary, into some weird shit type people. I think those are my favorites, and that's how, like, that's the energy that guy gives. I love you guys so fucking much. Oh, Bubs wasn't here today. Sorry, I didn't say that at the beginning. Bubsy's at school right now. I had to record at a different time, so I told him he had to sit out on this one, but we'll see you guys together on Friday. I love you guys so much. Happy fucking Wednesday. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Give it 5 stars, 4 stars. How many stars does it even, the way that my mind doesn't even know. Rate this show if you care about me. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye.